This edition of MacVoices is brought to you by SupportYourApp. Focus on growth. Build your customer support the smart way. SupportYourApp specializes in supporting Mac and iOS apps since 2011. Scale smarter. Leverage a remote support team with SupportYourApp at supportyourapp.com. MacVoices is in San Jose for the AltConf and WWDC. I'm Chuck Joyner. This is John of Golden Hill, that I haven't talked to in a long time. It seems like, anyway. I don't know, John, but now you're up to 4 products and rolling along, and this is just another WWDC.
It is. It's another WWDC.
Yeah. So what have you thought of what we saw from Apple yesterday?
I thought it was a fantastic keynote. I'm really excited to see, even though we don't have it yet, I'm excited to see what appears to be Project Marzipan, the ability to more easily port an iOS app to Mac OS. I think that's going to be fantastic. I'm excited about all the improvements to the Mac. It's great to see the Mac App Store getting some attention again after not having it for a long time. And I'm also very excited about the improvements to Siri on iOS. Siri shortcuts, what appears to be what was the workflow app, now part of iOS 12. And I am excited about also just the work Apple's done on with Safari on protecting your privacy with Safari and protecting you from trackers in Safari windows.
I haven't asked anyone this yet. What we saw of the App Store, I know it's great to see it get a little bit of love, but were you happy with the love it seems to have gotten? And I know we don't have all the details yet, but from what you saw, did you like what you saw?
That's tough to answer because when you say we don't have all we don't have all the details yet, that's kind of an understatement. It sounds like there are sandboxing improvements, but we don't know what they are yet. I think the fact that Barebones and Panic have been enticed to put their apps back in the Mac App Store is a great step, but really we don't know anything other than they finally put some attention into the App Store app itself, and that's fantastic, but it's way too early to tell everything else. We don't know what all the details are yet.
Yeah, that's fair. I know. Were you over at WWDC or were you here at AltConf?
I was here at AltConf.
Okay, so there was a little bit of a cheer that went up for that.
Yeah.
And so but I don't know what the details are. So I'm glad to see at least it's getting attention and maybe a makeover too.
Yeah, and even just the app itself sorely needed attention. Just it's always felt like, or it has increasingly felt like almost just a broken app. Like you press a button and you're not really sure if it started the process of buying the app or downloading the app, or it's just the feedback isn't great. Like there's all these problems in the Mac App Store app, and for all I know, they haven't addressed any of them. But hopefully I'm optimistic that they have, and I'm hopeful that they have.
So tell me about what's going on with Golden Hill. I know we've talked about a number of your products on the show before, but give us a quick roster and what's the latest?
So right now my primary focus is on an app called Unread. It's an app I acquired last summer, and it's an RSS reader for the iPhone and iPad. It's a beautiful app. It lets you it creates a beautiful reading environment for you to read content from your RSS feeds. So that's what's been keeping me most busy.
So RSS is not dead like so many people have said?
RSS is not dead.
I agree. I think that's kind of... They always wanted to declare these things dead. Email is dead. RSS is dead. Well, what are we supposed to use? And RSS is like a daily part of my surfing because it lets me get through so much so quickly and really dig down to what I need.
Yeah, and I also think that it's seeing a resurgence a bit with... there are a lot of things that Twitter has done to anger its most loyal its most loyal users, and so people are sort of getting annoyed with Twitter and looking both for other social media outlets and also for other ways to consume their news. And RSS is still a great way to consume news.
It's an interesting point. I really hadn't thought about the implications of what Twitter and Facebook, to a lesser degree, have done in the news space. And you're right. They keep trying to they try to be the arbiters of what it is that they think is important. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I want to figure out what websites or what I want to put on priority. In fact, most of the time that's what I want. And so I hadn't thought about that aspect of an RSS reader, but it's a great point.
Yeah, and just the fact that Twitter shut down they're clamping down more and more on third-party Twitter apps. Yet they canceled their own Twitter. They shut down their own Twitter Mac app. So I guess they think if you're going to use Twitter from your Mac, you're going to use it through their website, which I don't really think is going to happen. The Twitter iOS app is pretty good, but it tries to show you what it thinks you want to read instead of just showing you. I want to see, here are all the tweets from the people whose timelines I'm subscribed to in the order in which they were tweeted. That's what I want, and that's what Tweetbot and Twitterific give me, but the Twitter app itself does not. There's also the harassment problems on Twitter. And I'll stay away from politics. So we'll leave it at that. So there's a lot of reasons people are unhappy with Twitter, and RSS provides a great alternative to that.
You're staying away from politics? I can't imagine.
It seems like a good idea for the moment.
Well, it does seem to be, for better or worse, and we're not going to do a politics show, folks, I promise. But it does seem to be, I opened up Twitter yesterday, and in spite of everything here, and in spite of the audience that I follow, I still am seeing a lot of politics, and it's like, folks, there are more exciting things happening, and so you're right. I turn over to the RSS to talk or listen to the websites that are actually talking about what I want to hear about.
Yeah. And I think that's just another thing that's nice about RSS is you subscribe to exactly what you want. If someone you don't see, and I'm as guilty as anybody of retweeting things or retweeting too much, but you don't see retweets of things you don't care about. You just see, or on Twitter you see all those retweets, whereas with an RSS feed you see just what you subscribe to. Someone can share something that you might not necessarily want to see through their RSS feed, but someone has to go further out of their way to do that.
So is Unread currently available? I know you say you're working on it, but it's out there for sale and people can get it?
Yeah, absolutely. Unread is available in the App Store. It's a free download to try it out, and then it's a $10 in-app purchase to unlock all of its features.
Okay, and so the obvious question, what kind of features am I unlocking? So by default, when you download it, there are 16. So the app has a lot of it has themes. When you download it, it first has 6 themes, and then when you perform the unlock, it gets another 8 themes. There's a true black theme, which looks great on the OLED display of the iPhone 10. There's also another dark theme for other that looks great on other iPhones and iPads, and there's a whole bunch of other interesting themes. The other thing it does is it unlocks some reading limits. When you first download the free version, you can read up to 50 articles and then 3 articles per day after that, whereas once you unlock it, you just read as much as you want. So really, the purpose of the free download is to let you try it out, and then to get the full experience, you do the in-app purchase. Makes sense. And the other titles you have out there right now?
Yeah, so I also have an app called FeedHawk. FeedHawk is also an RSS app. Its purpose is to let you subscribe to feeds when you're visiting a website through the share sheet. So you're visiting a site with mobile Safari, with Firefox on iOS, or with Chrome on iOS. You bring up the share sheet, you invoke FeedHawk, and it shows you here are the feeds you can subscribe to. Lets you subscribe right then and there, rather than trying to find out what the feed URL is and all that. I have a Mac app called CloudPull that backs up your Google account to your Mac, backs up your Gmail, Google Contacts, Google Calendar, and Google Drive. And I have an iOS app called Marcato that lets you create site-specific browsers on your iPhone.
CloudPull, I think, is the very first app that I interviewed you about. And I feel like its importance has just grown as we all are trying to take control of things. And I don't know that it's not exactly a security app, it's a backup app.
Right.
But if I decide I'm going to delete my Gmail account or any of that stuff, at least this way I can get everything down before doing it.
Yeah, you can use Cloud Pull to, you can run it in the background, or you can use it to just to create that, say, initial full backup if you decide you want to migrate your email or your files or whatever to another service, or just to maintain them locally. You always have them. And if your account ever was let's say your account is somehow compromised, and someone gets in and deletes your data, sure, Google might have backups of it, but good luck asking Google for them. Whereas if you just have them within on your desktop, they're always there for you.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers right now of those email systems, is there's nobody to talk to.
Right.
That if you have a problem, while they're functioning, they're great, but if you get hacked or something goes wrong, well, now what do we do?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. The website where folks can go to learn all about all your apps.
goldenhillsoftware.com.
John, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you, Chuck.
Take care. Thanks
all right.
so much.
Thank you.
Folks, more from AltConf and WWDC in San Jose. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our MacVoices Facebook group and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep MacVoices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.